I've been running around Stockholm for 3 months now trying to find the best semlas. Here are my top 10 choices. Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm a Swedish lawyer, traveler and foodie who wants to help you get more out of your life. Don't forget to subscribe for more food in Stockholm and around the world. Also, if you don't know what a semla is, keep on watching and I'll explain it. So first up is Lindqvist, and they get so much attention for their huge variety when it comes to Swedish semla. My personal favorite is the red velvet, but they did not have it when I was around this year. So instead, we tried the Oreo, the Nutella and the classic semla. I unfortunately didn't like them too much. I think they are pretty dry in general, and same goes for the tiramisu semla, which I tried about a week later. But I did an in-depth review, which you can see next.
The tiramisu semla still has this almond mass that traditional Swedish semlor has. Also the mascarpone cream, it's good. I don't think it is 100%. They could have done more to resemble a tiramisu. I think they could have skipped the almond mass as well because it doesn't really add the kind of flavor that I would like for a tiramisu. Let's face it, almond mass is not a part of tiramisu. It really doesn't make sense to keep it there. Instead of the whipped cream that the classic semla has, it has this mascarpone cream instead, and then it has the classic semla bun. I'll give it, strong coffee taste as well. I think I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 or maybe 4. 3.5, I think. I'm not gonna be buying this again.
Next is Sweets by Camilla, which has a kind of non-traditional semla. This is a kladdkakesemla, and I love Swedish kladdkaka, so I was quite a fan of this, although it lacked the beauty that a Swedish semla has. But it did taste good, and I really enjoyed it. So I recommend it if you want to try something different. Next is Green Rabbit, and I've been hearing good things about their semlas for years, but I've personally never tried it until now, when I went by just randomly. It is a good semla, but somehow it tastes a bit like it's healthy. It's not as sweet as many semlas are, and I do have quite a sweet tooth, so it's not my favorite. I was recommended to try the semla here through Instagram, and I generally love this super aesthetic, beautiful, and a way too popular cafe. But the semla was really delicious, but I was tempted to get everything else too. I've actually made a separate review on it, which you will see next.
Okay, so let's try it. Let's do the lid first. They have these small are those? I wonder what this is. I think it's almond. The whipped cream is really good. I can also already tell that this bun is going to be really soft just based on the lid. So far, this is a really good recommendation. The bun is really soft, almond mass is not overpowering. The almond mass has quite a lot of flavor to it as well. It's not like this standard store-bought version. I mean, it's easy to tell the difference. It is more powerful in terms of flavor, and that is a good thing. So far, this one gets 4.5 out of 5 because I believe the bun could be even softer.
Next we got Lillebrors, which is probably the favorite in all of Stockholm. Everyone loves this place, and it is easy to understand why. Unfortunately, it's takeaway only, so you can't really sit there. I love how chunky this semla is with the almond pieces, and I also love the combination of textures and flavors. It is a really good semla, and I'll give it 4.5 out of 5. This place has been getting so much attention this year, in particular because of their cinnamon bun semla. And they have weekly specials every week, and I've seen a tiramisu semla as well, but I haven't tried it personally. But they're famous for their classic semlas too, and they also have a licorice semla. I haven't tried that one though. But I did try the classic and the cinnamon bun semla, which I both loved. I think the classic was even better because the cinnamon bun was a bit too sweet for being a semla. If you're only gonna try one semla this year, this is a great choice. I highly recommend it. Next, we got the place that I keep coming back to all the time, and I love their classic semla, but I love their saffron semla even more. You'll see next.
I was just at one of my favorite bakeries in Stockholm getting some special Christmas treats. This is the first one. I sort of got this as a bit of an impulse purchase. I was originally going to get the Swedish saffron style semla. This one looked so good, and someone else was just buying one of them, so I had to get this as well. This is a saffron donut. Looks like this, and I think it has some lingonberry jam on top, I'm not sure. And then we have the main character here, which is the saffron semla. They always bring this one out before every Christmas. I think it is the best semla in Stockholm. If you don't know what a semla is, it is sweet bread here, almond mass here, whipped cream here, and it is one of the most popular pastries in Sweden. Usually isn't with saffron, it's more of a classic bun style, but this saffron special is my all-time all-time favorite. Make sure to try this one if you're ever in Stockholm around Christmas. This one is the perfect mix of a sweet saffron bun, almond mass, whipped cream, and then there's the little lid here. So ideally put some whipped cream on.
Another one of my go-to choices is Mr. Cake, and they came out with a special Valentine's Day version of their semlas this year. I got it as a Valentine's gift along with some champagne, and it was very delicious. I absolutely love it. Keep a lookout for this one next year. And Mr. Cake is such a safe bet when it comes to treats in Stockholm. This was my first time actually trying Stora Bageriet. I've just walked past many times because it's always been too crowded. And I was so positively surprised by their semla. Quality of the bun was amazing. I haven't seen anything better this year. It was just perfectly balanced sweetness and cardamom flavor, and the whipped cream felt so nice in texture as well. So I highly recommend trying this one, and watch next for my all-time favorite choice.
So for the final spot in my semla competition, I thought we would try my number one choice, which has been my number one for years. It is the classic semla from Bageriet. I remember it as absolutely delicious. So let's try it together and see if it is just as good as I remember it or even better. It is very likely to still be number one on my list. Let's try this out. I love the whipped cream already. It feels like that old style that you usually don't see that much up anymore. This is a very classic semla. It is the style of semla that I remember from old bakeries that my mom and grandma used to go to, not the very modern bröd och salt style bakeries. And the whipped cream is so indulgent, it's insane. Another key difference is this doesn't contain whole almonds like a lot of semlas do. I think I prefer both styles as long as they do the respective style in a very good way. Like if it is with almonds, it has to be really chunky and chewy. But if it's without almonds, it needs to be interesting still and not just feel like a big dough of almond mass. This bun is pretty amazing. It is super soft, and that is one of the things I like the most about this semla. A lot of places serve dry buns these days, and it is so easy to tell, and then they charge so much for it despite that. This one also has a bit of vanilla hint to it, which I really love. So my final verdict is that this is a 5 out of 5, and this remains my number one choice because it truly stands out. It's really soft in terms of flavors and texture, and it's just a fantastic all-around semla that doesn't make too much of a fuss of itself. It's not chunky at all, no almond pieces. It's just smooth and such a pleasure to eat. Make sure that you try this one before it's out for the season. If you want to see me try more treats in Sweden and in other countries as well, make sure to subscribe and comment what you want to see next.